Now, one of the other things you've pointed out, that's the air pollution. The spilling of effluent into water resources either close by to the factory or beyond. What can you tell us about that? Do we know the extent to which that has been a factor and a risk?
Yeah, well, I think the troubling part, John, is that here is a warehouse containing an undisclosed quantity and types of hazardous and toxic chemicals, very close to a residential area, and suddenly fish and crayfish and other marine creatures are dying on the beachfronts in north of Durban at Umhlanga and Umhloti. The Umhlanga Lagoon river estuary, which is a nursery for sea fish, has been more or less completely wiped out. It's littered with fingerlings and young fish, which go in there to grow up and then return to sea. But there's very little left. But so how did that get there? One would imagine that with a storage facility for such toxic materials, regardless of whether it's arson or an accidental fire or a storm, there should be containment measures around such a facility to prevent, because it's obvious when you hose down a fire, there's going to be large quantities of water, which is contaminated. And certainly from an aerial inspection of the facility from above, there's no obvious moats, or they're called buns, but it's like a castle moat, where any contaminated water would be trapped and contained.
Indeed.
But in this case, it looks like it just poured straight down a tarmac driveway and down through stormwater outlets into a tributary which enters into the Umhlanga River and then down onto the beachfront. And that's still flowing today. I've seen a video clip. It's visibly blue effluent a short way downstream from the facility, which doesn't seem to have been plugged.
News.
Experts.
Analysis.
Where things stand.
What you need to know. Drive home with John Perlman
On 702.